Hey guys, this is Wildcat Chris Harris, TNA original and one half of 6-time TNA World Tag Team Champions, America's Most Wanted. You are listening to the TNA Cross the Line podcast.
TNA Wrestling, Cross the Line.
And we're back with episode 247 of the TNA Cross the Line podcast. I am Colling Jr. With me, as always, is Dallas Gridley. In Dallas, we are at the Go Home show for Hard Justice. And it is not just a throwaway show this time around. No. Our main event tonight is going to be Christian Cage against Scott Steiner, the two men who will be in opposing corners for their respective friends. Scott Steiner in the corner of the NWA World Champion Jeff Jarrett, Christian Cage in the corner of Sting for their title match at Hard Justice. But we're also going to get a match between one half of the NWA Tag Team Champions, Christopher Daniels against Homicide. Daniels promising a 187 tonight, which is a homicide. But also, maybe the biggest of them all, both literally and figuratively, Kevin Nash is going to be in action. 6-man tag. It's Nash, Shelley, and Divine against Sabin, Lethal, and Sanjay Dutt. I'm surprised it's not on pay-per-view, but I'm not going to be a guy that complains about something on free TV, even though Twitter here in 2024 tends to somehow get upset that amazing matches are on free television. So, Dallas, how are we feeling for the go-home show before Hard Justice?
I am actually very excited about this episode of Impact. I think even last week we led to this one. We're hyping up Hard Justice. It's going pretty well. So I'm feeling good about this, man. I think this is going to be a good episode. And you know what? Give me the good shit on free TV. That's how you make me want to buy your pay-per-views. You're giving me good shit for free. So then I'm assuming what's going to be even better is going to be behind the paywall. I'm for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like I said before. The other day, I think it was for Ospreay and MJF. People were pissed that it was on free TV.
Idiots, dude. Well, the other thing about that too, you think about this. That match went 59 minutes and like 59 seconds. Like it literally was an hour-long match. And if that was on pay-per-view, it would not have been that long.
Yeah, right. I would imagine that.
And it was good as fuck.
Well, I don't know, man. That's just, I think it's just an example of people finding a reason to get mad.
And they think they know what they're talking about when they don't. But
well, I mean, right.
That's how it goes, right?
I mean, we're literally, so like what we're watching now with TNA, like they are definitely booking their shows for the TV rating when it was really an era with like WWE where they're trying to get a good buy rate for the pay-per-views. Right. We're in an era now where it's like TV ratings kind of trump everything. You know, if you can get like in AEW's case, if you can get 200, well, not 200, let's say 150 to 200,000 buys on a pay-per-view, that's pretty good. And of course WWE has their contract with Peacock, so their PLEs ultimately are just a TV show, essentially.
Right.
It's a different era. So if this was 1998 and they're doing this, it'd just be like what you get on Nitro.
Exactly.
Goldberg Hogan. Were people pissed that was on free TV? I doubt it.
In hindsight, people are like, I can't believe they didn't do that on pay-per-view. So, in hindsight, people are mad about it.
Well, I think when they say, in terms of making money, I don't think they're saying, I'm pissed I got to watch that for free. But they're
Right.
criticizing
But
it in the
that's-
business sense of like, if you're trying to make the most money, that's what you would do.
Mm-hmm.
But
Totally.
I'm not going to complain about
Me either.
good stuff on free TV.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Silly.
Bob, let's do a quick recap on what we just saw on our last episode of Impact. For matches, at least. We already talked about some of the other stuff. There's a lot of Jeff Jarrett on our screen, though. Ain't that the truth? And apparently, there was even more than we thought. He was hiding behind a Sting match the whole time. But anyway. LAX defeated Jarrell Clark and a person we don't talk about in 1 minute in a tag team match. And Jarrell Clark took quite the border toss from Hernandez.
Which officially got its name last week.
That's right.
By Conan.
Then, in a shocking upset, the Naturals, with Shane Douglas, defeated America's Most Wanted in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And there was some major miscommunication between AMW in that match. So
we're going to classify that as a shocking upset.
I'm calling it that. At this point,
I'm just surprised because the Naturals have beaten them before.
Well, I know, but they were on a losing streak.
AMW is.
Well, now they are.
But Naturals haven't really been. They ever since they got with Douglas, they've been kind of. They cut their hair and they've been beaten.
They've won 3 matches.
I don't know.
Something like that. I'm calling it an upset, man.
Right.
Former champions, historic championship reign.
Yeah.
It's over. And then, in the main event, Bob, Petey Williams defeated Alex Shelley, Jay Lethal, Kazarian, and Sanjay Dutt in 9 minutes, 25 seconds to become the number 1 contender to face Senshi. Yeah, hard job. Well, they didn't say it officially, but that's kind of what they said.
I would imagine it's that hard.
Right? Jim Cornette didn't say it at his town meeting, whatever, but...
And I'm sure there's going to be a note in the Observer where Brandon's pissed that he wasn't mentioned for Hard Justice.
Not yet, but I'm sure there will be. So that was what we saw, and then, of course, there's that town hall. We talked about the matches that were announced for Hard Justice, which I'm sure we will talk about again during today's show, and all sorts of other fun match talk, including matches that are happening tonight, which Bob already mentioned. So we have quite the show for you, and Bob, I have a bunch of pre-show notes today. Some pretty fun stuff to talk about. So let's get right into it. Okay, you are moving. I thought you froze on me. You're being so still.
I am concentrating.
Okay, well, get ready for this. This is almost like a side news, but I feel like it should be discussed slightly. So, shout out to our one of our listeners, Lance. This one's for you, because officially, Jeff Hardy has been hired by the WWE this week, and this has been expected for months. But what it represents when it comes to both major U.S. companies is worse, Dave Meltzer says. TNA may have been at time a haven for WWE drug casualties and looked the other way in a quest to have stars with mainstream names on the roster, and it struggled to survive. But WWE, not having the same struggle of simply staying alive for all its testing, is no better and no different. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, Bob, I am cutting quite a bit out of this talk because he goes real in depth about this. He talks about B.G. James. He talks about Scott Hall. He talks about Sean Waltman. It's all stuff we've talked about before, and how it affects how TNA accepted these people with open arms, and that he can't believe that WWE is taking Jeff Hardy back. If you want to read the thing in its entirety,
give me a fucking break.
This is from the August 14th, 2006 Observer newsletter. Now, the interesting part to me was kind of what his downfall was in TNA. And he notes that some nights, Jeff Hardy, who at this time is 28, which to me is like insane to think about, performed at a high level. And most nights he didn't. One night he did a stunt where, despite being told by TNA management not to do it because he really could have risked killing himself with a swanton off a balcony on live pay-per-view, he did it anyways. Even though TNA was running only a few dates per month, and he no-showed on several occasions. Finally, when he no-showed a key match on a pay-per-view, he was suspended, and he already missed a TV taping before then. After a couple of more no-shows that required last-second rewriting, the final one being at another pay-per-view event, Jeff Jarrett, who was widely considered his protector, when few thought it was advisable to keep him, basically threw up his hands. He knew that there was no possible way to defend him. TNA had stopped using him for a long time before his contractual commitments were over, and he was already talking with WWE. So before he was actually officially out of his contract, he was already kind of talking with them. So it's pretty interesting. And another part of this that is interesting is that TNA did consider bringing him back once more, and then, of course, did not, which speaks volumes that they actually just decided that it's just not worth it. Now, to make this even worse, Jeff Hardy, in a WWE article, said, quote, "I didn't need rehab. When I was released from WWE, it wasn't just the demons or demonic metaphors that relate to drug use. I failed numerous drug tests because I didn't care to wrestle anymore. A sense of me believes that it might have just been a way out of wrestling. That's in the past, and that's forgotten about. I'm in a positive place now, and that's what motivates me." And my final part of this that we'll be chatting about here is, as bad as it was for TNA to hire him and give him far more chances without taking action than it was good for the company and basically expose the company's attitude badly, WWE at best is just as bad, and perhaps worse. TNA at least could rationalize, as ridiculous as this is, that with the easier schedule, he'd be able to cope with it. Of course, after the first set of problems was rationalized away and the early no-shows left people steaming and wanting to drop him, and Jarrett went to bat for him, those rationales were gone. So it's pretty interesting. And like I said, this is like a side note because it's really more I want to talk about the downfall of what happened with Jeff Hardy's early run here. Which is interesting. In hindsight, watching it as an adult with a different perspective of wrestling and stuff, this run was not very good. As a kid who got into TNA really, I think, because of Jeff Hardy, it's weird to kind of look back on it and be like excited about it at the time when he did a couple cool things here and there, like spots, but like that's kind of it.
I think Jeff Hardy's the type of example where you're remembering his past more so than the current.
Yeah, I think he's also.
That's why you get excited for it.
Yeah, and no, I think that's accurate. And I don't know, Jeff Hardy kind of has that like cool factor, like he's got all this paint on and he's like glowing when he comes out, like in TNA, and like he's got that like cool factor, like that's just that's how Jeff Hardy is. So it's pretty interesting, but he's officially off our radar. He will not be coming in at all during this weird South America tour idea that they were talking about. We talked about last week, or even during the AAA versus TNA show, trying to get more WWE names. Like none of that's going to happen. He's done. He's going to WWE at least for about 4 more years.
Yeah, probably just under that. Yeah.
The
notion
really,
though,
yeah, just under.
The notion there by Meltzer that he's surprised that they would take Hardy back. I mean, I don't even know. That's like one of the most ridiculous statements ever. I mean, my brain immediately goes to like Ultimate Warrior, fucking British Bulldog in like the early 90s when, they're doing steroids, whatever. They get fired for like a year and a half and they, at some point they come back. Bulldog left in 92. He comes back in 94. Warrior is fired in 92, comes back in 96. I mean, Sid, alleged roids and stuff. And now I know Hardy's more, drug, like hardcore drugs, but
right.
I mean, I don't know. I think that's silly to think that Jeff Hardy would never go back to WWE. That's just funny. Like TNA is the drug safe haven for.
Well, I think that's like a weird way to put it too.
That's a bizarre statement. I mean,
I think so. I mean,
Yeah, I mean that. I don't even know. I don't even know how to react. Like how to really put it into words. Like I think that's just a lazy way of like phrasing it. I mean, these guys, if they have a problem or whatever, obviously they need to work. So whether it be in TNA or like on the Indies somewhere, they're gonna end up wrestling, I would imagine.
Right.
But I don't envision TNA as a place where it's like, oh, they're all guys just doing drugs that are able to collect a paycheck. So
Yep. That's how it be.
yeah, I don't agree with his depiction there of what like TNA is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
For WWE stars at all. So
Right.
I could see it. I kind of would see TNA as like wrestlers' second chances. You know, they fuck up, they get fired by WWE.
Right.
I'll go work TNA, get myself on the straight and narrow for a couple of years, and then WWE will be like, okay, you know what, you figured it out. We'll bring it back. That could be what happened with Jeff. You know, whatever.
I mean, that's kind of how I look at it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's happening. Okay, moving on. Where was I going to go next? Here, I'll go down here. This is I think this is more about upcoming hopes for some rating stuff. So, with UFC riding the crest of its biggest wave to date, Season 4 starts with a new twist on August 17th as part of a 5-hour MMA pro wrestling marathon night. Now, the schedule starts at 7 p.m. with Unleashed, followed by the live Ultimate the live Ultimate Fight Night special. Now, there's 4 television matches that are scheduled, which I don't know how to say half of these people's names, so I'm not even going to bother trying because they have some crazy last names. But eventually, it's like a tournament. So winner gets a shot at the welterweight championship against the winner from the September 23rd Matt Hughes versus George St. Pierre at 10 p.m. So he says that's going to be the season premiere of The Ultimate Fighter, followed by 11 p.m. by Impact, TNA Impact. And reports are that TNA is going to load this show up, probably doing an angle at the pay-per-view, knowing that it may be the company's best chance to date to draw a record rating.
So this is for September 21st.
The winner likely gets a chance against the winner from the 23rd of September. So it's going to be after that. Or that's no. It's very confusing the way it's written. But it's around that time. And if they're going to do an angle at the pay-per-view that's going to lead to this, then
it's going to be the Impact after No Surrender.
I think so.
That's what they're saying. Well, if they're loading it up, then I would imagine that Sting will be on it.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, that's still...
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah. I have an interesting Jim Cornette note for you. And you probably know more about this than I do, Bob. But it's as far as his time in Ring of Honor. So he turned heel on Homicide at some point here in Ring of Honor. So in relation to that, so Cornette was pretty much fed up with wrestling after the final blow-up in WWE. Wasn't all that interested in coming in as a regular as commissioner. This basic angle was laid out from the start, and really it was a piece of the overall puzzle that caused Cornette to make the decision to come out of what he considered to be his retirement. Eventually, this is what leads to his TNA deal, because Cornette's feeling was that he went out in a bad way as a performer in WWF, since it was during the Vince Russo time period where they didn't allow managers to get any steam, and they started to move and replace them with women. The TNA run is his attempt to go out as a performer in a good national television run. So he came out of retirement to do the stuff essentially with the Ring of Honor, and then that just kind of led slowly here to his TNA run. Kind of interesting how it all works out.
Oh, I thought there was gonna be more to it.
No, that's it. It's just I thought it was interesting how it like kind of flowed together like that.
Yeah.
I don't really know a whole lot about him turning heel on Homicide or anything. Like I said, you probably know a lot more about that, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't really remember the exact context to it. But I know that it just adds the heat to his eventual final battle match with Bryan Danielson for the ROH World Title.
well, that sounds pretty good.
And it shows you two different universes, because here in TNA, Homicide is a heel, and in Ring of Honor, he is a beloved. I don't know about beloved, but he's a babyface.
Beloved.
Chasing after the world title, so there's that.
Right. Next up, Sting. His contract. It's expiring at the end of the year.
Of course it is.
So in what may end up being a factor in how much they want Sting after that contract expires at the end of the year, Sting has been turning down angles suggested to him left and right. So apparently he's saying no to a lot of stuff. Now, basically, his feeling is that he doesn't want to do any, quote, hokey wrestling. And most recent was on a deal where after the last pay-per-view, he had the gasoline that was thrown in his eye by Jarrett, and they wanted him to wear an eye patch to sell the injury. Now, he's also turned down Juice and other suggestions to where he would come off looking weak. His explanation is that his son got gasoline in his eye at one time and was fine a few hours later. So it wasn't realistic for him to wear an eye patch going into the pay-per-view match.
Okay.
I mean, fair. That's very fair.
That's fair.
He did have the covering on at the pay-per-view when it happened, so he technically would have been fine after that.
A few hours later, yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I mean, watching, I mean, we've seen him, right? I mean, I haven't questioned it. I haven't been like, why is he not wearing a patch or something?
No, I didn't think about it at all, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, if you get something in your eye, you just kind of wash it out and
move on.
There.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Is Sting going to resign? I don't know.
I'm really curious as to what other stuff he said no to.
I know. I hope we'll get more information on that. They've strongly been considering, this is not about Sting anymore, the idea of matching Samoa Joe against an MMA star on a pay-per-view.
Oh, God.
But haven't been able to come up with the right name. Now, there is either fear of a bad match or people who they think might be able to do a decent match aren't big enough names to help the buy rate.
There's one name, Dallas. There's one fucking name, and it's easy.
Who do you think it is?
Ken Shamrock.
Ken Shamrock.
Just get Ken Shamrock.
I mean, that's a great point. Well, listen to what they're about to say at the end here. It made me laugh. So the idea is that it'd be building a match with a well-known MMA star to try and draw MMA audience that would be watching the show over the next few months. But Dave says, plus, with Sylvester Terkay starting on SmackDown, any using a shoot fighter almost looks like they're copying WWE booking. And I'm sorry. Who gives an absolute fuck about Sylvester Terkay?
That's incredible.
I mean, come on, dude. What are we doing? Yeah.
Bad.
The August 12th Impact replay show the night before the pay-per-view will start 30 minutes later than usual since Spike is doing an all-day UFC marathon, which includes a replay of Ultimate Fighter 3 finals from 9 to 11:30 p.m. So we'll find out if that changes our rating on that replay at all.
I'm sure it will.
I'm sure. I have... Where did I go? I have one. Yeah, like 2 to 3 more for you, Bob, and then we'll have more during the show. So it's a heavy one today, compared to last week, I should say, at least. This is very interesting. Vampiro, who is 39 at the time, has officially announced the formation of a new promotion based out of Guadalajara, Mexico, called Revolution X Wrestling, at a press conference on August 3rd. The promotion is expected to adopt more of a hardcore style and use more foreign stars from the US, Europe, and Japan. This would be separate from the Wrestling Society X MTV promotion that has yet to be officially announced, although is widely expected to air in the U.S., but it is likely the major talent would be in both companies. Bob, had you ever seen Revolution X Wrestling on the US TV?
No.
Oh, okay. Other.
I'm starting to wonder if it even launched.
Me too. Bonus episode.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I wonder who's had more failed like wrestling startups, Vampiro or Shane Douglas.
Oh, I didn't know Shane Douglas.
I remember probably.
Has.
I remember. Well, there was Extreme Rising that he was kind of associated with, but there was another time where he was promising a company that would have health benefits and all these things. It was like 20. Well, I guess probably around Extreme Rising, like 2011, 2012 or something like that. It was based out of Vegas, and then it never happened.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to Google Revolution X Wrestling right now, and I'm not really getting the answer I want.
Yeah, because it never happened. It never launched. I guarantee. I guarantee it. It probably never even.
Awesome.
And I bet you that it never happened because Wrestling Society X, I believe you said there was like a no compete or whatever. So if that started off, I bet you he couldn't technically be part of something like that.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
So,
well, others who have been talked with to be, I think, on some of these shows at least, include Ron Killings, who got popular in a hurry in Mexico from his appearances on AAA television. Also, he's trying to use people like Norman Smiley as an agent, Conan as a commissioner. Although at this point, Conan is still with AAA and is likely to stay since he's the liaison between AAA and TNA for the upcoming big show next month. Also on the list who are they're looking at is Samoa Joe, Abyss. There's some other people that aren't TNA related, like Daniel Puder. Now, this could play out two ways. Since history shows it's impossible for an American company to work with Antonio Pena long-term, and TNA has given up on doing anything with Paco Alonso. After one attempt after another was ignored by him, if this group does anything to become viable, something could develop. But most likely, at this point, TNA talent will probably be largely exclusive to AAA, with the only exception being Killings, because his tenure in TNA, at least as of last week, was tenuous. So, we'll see what happens if Revolution X Wrestling happens, which apparently doesn't, it looks like.
I don't
when I Google it.
Gonna...
You never know. You never know. But probably not. Okay, two more for you. Two interview notes. I think it'd just be easier to get these out of the way. The first one is from Terry Taylor. He talked to Alex Marvez, and he was asked what TNA needed to do. I think because he was talking about WCW a lot and its positioning as number 2 in wrestling. And he says, quote, "We need to have our own identity and be true to that. I cringe when I hear people say we're competition to WWE because there are so many fans out there. We don't have to compete with WWE. We just have to give those other fans what they want. I'm not talking bad about WWE. They are a great company, but not everybody wants to see what they're serving. We're doing a great job developing our own young guys with fresh storylines, and their product looks different. We're starting to make inroads in exposing the product to different fans. But the key is to establish an identity, be true to it, and give the fans what they want from our product." He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
That's the most sane thing I've heard Terry Taylor say.
I've been saying that forever, is that you don't need to compete. Just focus on yourself being profitable and go from there. WWE has such a head start that it's going to be nearly impossible to overcome that. And then, people can sit there and say, oh, well, WCW, whatever. I mean, they literally had to grab every single well-known wrestler. Mm-hmm. Hogan, Savage, they took Luger back through the years,
right?
And they overcame that. Bret Hart, so it's like not even. Yeah, that's just kind of silly. So if TNA were to grab, basically John Cena, Randy Orton, and Edge right now in 2006. Batista, they probably have a pretty good fighting chance for it.
Right. All right, my final note before we get into today's show, Bob. It's an interview with Loki, or Senshi. Okay. With Douglas Nunnally. Nunnally. I don't know. I've never heard of this name before. But during this interview, he talks negative about the X Division. Oh, so it's great. Is your champion.
Yeah.
He says, quote, "I'm probably going to get some feedback on this, but I think it's weak. Think of it this way. I just came into the company a few months ago, and I'm already the champion. What does that say about their wrestlers? These guys are very gifted athletes, and I think there's certain aspects to them that they really need to work on to become a champion. Take pride in what I do as a profession, as a career. I dedicated my life to doing this, learning and trying to get better and such. I think that some of the wrestlers have become complacent in their current roles in being part of the X Division and don't think it's necessarily to become a better wrestler, to become a better athlete. I think it's just, okay, I'm comfortable at this level. Let me stay here. I've just never been that way. I think I've proven over the years by the matches that I've done and been a part of the way I fight against every competitor." Yep.
That's just silly. I come in and I'm already champion. That just tells you how shitty the X Division is. Wow. So now when he will eventually lose, damn, he's shitty because he just lost to a guy in the X Division.
I mean,
this guy is not bright.
Yeah, I hate to say it. He's not.
I mean, you should be putting over the X Division. That way, when you beat guys like Petey Williams and Jay Lethal and Kazarian and Chris Sabin and Sanjay Dutt, that like, hey, I'm the top echelon. But now you're basically saying you're just beating scrubs, and then when one of these scrubs potentially beats you, what does that say for you? This is not rocket science, and that's a ridiculous notion that the X Division sucks. That's so far off. This guy's delusional. No wonder he's burned every bridge in professional wrestling, that he's wrestling for freaking he doesn't even wrestle for MLW anymore. Like, give me a break.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man. Well, on that note, let's get into some Impact.
Not yet, pal, because guess what? This weekend, the weekend here before Hard Justice, there was a triple shot of UWF shows.
Oh, I didn't have that right now.
I do.
Whoa.
And I figured, you know what? I understand. I know that Hard Justice is on the 13th. These shows took place on the 10th, 11th, 12th. I'm just going to go through them. It's not like they're going to spoil anything. We're just going to see what these guys did on the weekend. Because otherwise, I will probably forget. So are you ready for Dallas Triple Up?
Oh, yeah, dude. I can't wait to hear this.
Some of these match times are alarming. August 10th, North Charleston, South Carolina. These are the results. The Naturals defeated Chris Sabin and Jay Lethal in 16 minutes and 19 seconds. That one I don't really mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's fine.
Brother Runt wrestled Eric Young to a no contest in 13 minutes and 43 seconds.
Okay.
The James Gang defeated the Diamonds in the Rough in 8 minutes and 47 seconds. Bobby Roode defeated Ron Killings in 11 minutes and 37 seconds. And in the main event, the NWA World Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels defeated Petey Williams and Samoa Joe to retain the titles in 19 minutes and 11 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Now, the match time I was kind of referencing was Brother Runt and Eric Young. I don't know if I need to see that for 15 minutes. But
yeah, I mean, it seems long.
Yeah. Continuing on here to August 11th in Columbia, South Carolina. The Naturals won a three-way number one contendership for the NWA Tag Team Championships when they defeated the James Gang and the Diamonds in the Rough in 14 minutes and 32 seconds. Ron Killings defeated Petey Williams in 11 minutes and 12 seconds. Abyss defeated Brother Runt in a hardcore match in 9 minutes and 37 seconds. Eric Young defeated Bobby Roode in 16 minutes and 37 seconds. The NWA World Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels defeated Chris Sabin and Jay Lethal in 18 minutes and 40 seconds to retain the titles. That might be a really good match. I don't remember if I've watched it. Samoa Joe defeated Scott Steiner in the main event in 8 minutes and 52 seconds. And then night 3, the final night, in Anderson, South Carolina. Brother Runt defeated Petey Williams. Chris Sabin and Jay Lethal defeated the Diamonds in the Rough in 9 minutes and 13 seconds. Abyss defeated Ron Killings in 6 minutes and 33 seconds. Eric Young defeated BG James in 6 minutes and 43 seconds. Samoa Joe defeated Bobby Roode in 8 minutes and 8 seconds. And in the main event, the NWA World Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels defeated the Naturals in 16 minutes and 43 seconds. All those times are a rough estimate.
I like how all these cards are just like mixed matches of like the whole, because it's all the same people.
It's all the same guys. Yeah, they just kind of move them around.
Yeah. Well, since you mentioned the UWF, apparently Hermie Sadler is pushing for a September 29th show in Richmond, Virginia, at the Allett Pavilion as the biggest TNA show that he is promoting this year. So apparently he's really pushing for this.
For September 29th?
Yep.
Oh, it does happen.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that in a few weeks here.
I'm pretty sure I reviewed that show too. Oh, anyway, let's get into it then. It's the August 10th, 2006 edition of TNA Impact. It is the go-home show before Hard Justice. And I'm not going to go down through the card again, but it is quite a loaded show in terms of in-ring action potential here. So the approximate runtime for this is 42 minutes and 50 seconds. If you want to watch along with us, head over to TNA Plus, or you can find it in your own personal collection. I'm going to count down from 3, and when I say play, that is when the watch along is going to begin. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
This is TNA. Oh, nice little LAX intro starting us off here. Okay. Seeing Lethal get attacked, Zbyszko with the wig, telling Jarrett to leave immediately. And then they show this thing clapping in the highlight package. That's funny. You're going to really help the Sting or really hurt him?
I mean, we should have known something was up because security definitely had the crowd away from just that one Sting fan.
I don't know if I noticed that, actually.
I didn't notice that now until this video package. So I'm saying we should have known.
Right. JB backstage outside of James E. Cornette's office. Oh. Eric Young is camping outside the office. Is Cornette here yet? He's got his big meeting tonight. He's wearing a tie. He's telling him to lose it. Oh, he brought him a present? Christmas in July. Oh, it's August.
I like how Borash...
That's funny.
I like how Borash realized that there was a tent next to him while he was already talking.
He was like, oh!
Wait a minute, what's this over here? It's like, dude, you walked up to the office. I'm sure the tent was already there.
Stop making sense.
Silly. It's just...
Kevin Nash and Chris Sabin square off in a 6-man tag.
SoCal Val is there, so we're probably going to see her butt cheeks soon. There we go. Cage and Steiner tonight. Here comes Rhino, though. And he's pissed about something.
Of course he is. He's freaking... It's Rhino.
They brought back ECW without their real, true final world champion, me. They fired me and they begged me to come back, and I said, fuck you, ECW. I'm TNA Impact for life.
The Sunday Hard Justice. I got Monty Brown. I got Samoa Joe. And I got the War Machine Rhino. Oh, it's false count anyway, so he doesn't have to stay in the ring. Oh, shit.
Why are they constantly beating up the announce table?
They just scare the shit out of Don West and Mike Tenay on a consistent basis.
Oh, hello, lady. Jesus. Whoa.
Oh, he's going to gore Samoa Joe right across the border. He's going to pit. Oh, there's nothing you can do about it, Conan. Yeah, he can. He's going to send LAX after you if you cross the border. He's like, I can go right over here to the people. Kid, get the fuck out of the way.
The live crowd is into Rhino. I mean, there's no denying that.
You want to punch Samoa teeth down his throat right over here. Yeah, I mean, they do like Rhino a lot. We can do whatever here. You can bring Monty Brown over here.
He's going to get beat up, right?
Yeah. He's going to go to the concession stand. Boom, there he is. Today was going to talk about giving you a tour of the Impact Zone. Holy shit, there's a guy with a small child right there that Monty Brown nearly threw Rhino into.
Yeah, when I saw Rhino walk by the father and kid there, I got a little nervous.
False count anywhere. It looks like Rhino has fallen.
No, he's just going to get beat up too, probably.
I'd have to assume. I'm going to show you guys why I'm the ruler of this Serengeti. I used to run through chumps like that on a daily basis. No gores, no chokes. All you're going to see is the pow! Samoa Joe's music plays, though.
Yeah, here we go. He's not wearing a collared shirt, folks. He is in his gear. He's ready to fight. Now, where's Rhino? Rhino's going to have to run in here.
Oh, shit. Samoa Joe, Monty Brown going at it.
You know, they kind of have forgotten about how Joe, like, kind of turned on Sting.
Oh, shit.
He's just kind of like, yeah, no, I'm peacing out, dude.
That's the weird thing in wrestling, right? Like, they do stuff like that, and you forget until you remember. But, like, they just are like, talk about it different time.
It don't matter. We decided to do something different, so we're just going to pretend that didn't happen.
DW. Those three are going to square off, so. Coming up later, Jim Cornette. Yes, we're seeing the graphic again. Steiner and Cage, main event tonight. That's right, Don. Oh, we're going to relive the history between Jeff Jarrett and Sting. Part 1, dude.
Really? We're doing another? Or is this the same one?
No, we're going to relive the history between Sting and Jarrett. This is part 1.
The pay-per-view is in 3 days.
Yeah.
Are they doing all the parts today?
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Anyway. Let me tell you some people who were backstage during this. Kid Romeo was here looking for work, for one.
Wait, what was that?
Kid Romeo was looking for work.
Again? Okay, it must have been 6 months, because every 6 months his name's popping up.
Yeah.
Exterminator.
Oh god. Matt Morgan was also at TV again this past week. Now, with Jim Cornette, who is a strong proponent of Morgan in the promotion, the odds of him are said to be better than 50% that he'll be hired. Now, it's more likely if or when Impact expands to 2 hours. There is still no time frame of when that move will take place or what night Impact will air if it does, but the company is proceeding with the idea that it is happening at some point, likely before the end of the year.
Now hear me out on this, Dallas. If they go to 2 hours, I really don't think they need to expand the roster. At least not drastically.
No, not that much.
Right. So like if they were to add, let's say 8 to 10 guys, you're basically then running yourself into a situation like, how can we get all these guys on TV?
The paparazzi here. I like that Nash went up on the turnbuckle and Johnny Devine was in between the two of them.
Well, Nash is a X Division superstar now.
Right.
Here come 3 shitty X Division guys, according to Senshi.
Is that Come Get Me Abyss? It's Brother Run. I thought it was Shannon Moore.
I didn't know what was going on there.
Also, their theme song they're coming out to right now is like a remix between all 3 of their songs.
Yeah, it sounds.
You can hear the Hail Satan.
Yeah, and you can hear like the rattling for Sanjay Dutt.
Yeah, that's weird. Bell has rung Sanjay Dutt, Alex Shelley kicking us off. Speaking of people who've been backstage and trying to get jobs and stuff, though, Bob, Jake Roberts, the situation with him is very up in the air right now. Now, they've talked about ideas for them, and Roberts has been continually calling about coming into TNA. Now, he's another person who may debut if they just go to 2 hours, but there is the caveat regarding him, so where everyone is naturally leery because of his track record being miles long at this point. So, not really too much to say about that.
If they seriously ever considered him as a in-ring talent, I probably would tune out on TNA. Because there's no way. And we've talked about it before. I saw him in 2010, and you were at that show too, but we didn't know each other, at 2CW, and he used his dentures. And I almost gave up on wrestling that night.
Kevin Nash was scared of Saban there. He tagged out.
Well, apparently he got like irate, and then he stepped out of the ring. Oh, god damn it! Do I have any notes for this?
That's why I didn't say any more notes. Now, Ryan is up at the top. Hard Justice Tonight, it says, I think.
I don't know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does. All right. I probably got distracted because I used all the UWF notes. But on August 5th, Jay Lethal competed in a 4-corner survival match at Ring of Honor's Fight of the Century. That match was won by Nigel McGuinness as he defeated Christopher Daniels, Claudio Castagnoli, and obviously Jay Lethal. Then we have Alex Shelley back on August 6th. Alex Shelley lost to Johnny Gargano for CAPW's August Onslaught in Cleveland, Ohio. I think, yeah, that's definitely that. Okay, I think that's all there is for this. Match.
Nice. Shelley's in here with Lethal now.
Yeah. So I didn't miss too much.
Well, speaking of X Division, Austin Aries is apparently going to be coming back, but under the name Austin Starr now. Apparently, it's going to be a similar deal to Low-Key in regards of not wanting to sign over ownership rights to their better-known name, which is why he's called Senshi in TNA. Oh, and they're talking about Bound for Glory.
I'm sure it's going to be Austin Starr. That way that they can own the name.
Yep, exactly.
Lethal, no repeal kick to Shelley.
And now both men are down. Rudy Charles is counting. Who's going to get up? Are they both just going to stay down for 10? So, Bob, at this point, it's August 10th. They just pointed out at the bottom of the screen, hey, Bound for Glory, tickets on sale now. Well, the first day of ticket sales were on 8/5 for the October 22nd Bound for Glory show in Plymouth, Michigan, which they're attempting to make the biggest show in company history. They sold more than 1,100 tickets already, which Dave says, not a failure, but certainly not the most encouraging sign either. I think it sounds pretty good so far to me.
That sounds pretty good. I mean, you're 2 months out. You haven't announced anything official.
Right.
That's not
Cradle Shock.
TNA.
Brand Johnny Devine. That's it.
Are you serious?
Wow. I don't know why, but I didn't expect them to win.
I didn't expect Devine to take the. I thought maybe Nash. Oh, there's Jerry Lynn. I would have thought that Nash would be involved in the finish there because that's where all the heat's at. It's not Nash.
Right.
I feel like this is over with. Like Nash is focused on that.
You think it's done?
That was such a anticlimactic and abrupt finish. Yeah.
They're doing another Sting thing, so I was not gonna just keep pumping out notes, but I might as well. In a follow-up to last week's story regarding the possible international touring, there is a deal being negotiated, and is not a closed deal, where TNA would do a house show at Arena Monterrey in Monterrey, Mexico on November 25th. Now, this is a really nice arena. I think WWE has gone to this one as well. Well, WWE signing of Jeff Hardy could play a factor in the negotiations, as the promoters had specifically asked for Hardy to be on the show. Now, while TNA is not on TV there, although Conan is a well-known draw in Mexico, Jeff Jarrett, look at that match card for Jarrett and Sting for Justice. Jeff Jarrett is over as a heel from his AAA appearances, and Ron Killings has become popular there. So they still have some people who could bring interest to the show. Larry Zbyszko just came in as Eric Young is still waiting outside of Jim Cornette's office. What? Okay. They've just added Jay Lethal to the X Division title match.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. That's weird. He was in the match with Pete. He won.
Yeah, that's...
That's bizarre.
We're going to talk about his future tonight in a meeting. About Eric Young's future. What's going to happen?
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're slick again. And Zbyszko.
To pay or not to pay? That's his question he had for Jim Cornette. And he just walked away. Imagine turning this on not knowing that's not Larry Zbyszko's hair.
There's no way you would not know that.
But if you didn't know it was Larry Zbyszko, like, let's say you're a new fan, you turn it on and that guy just looks like that.
Yeah, but you would have to think that's got to be a wig.
I don't know, dude. It looks pretty good. Speaking of, where's Raven been?
That's a good question.
Well, here comes Homicide and Conan.
I wonder if he just feuded with Zbyszko and they just took him off TV for a minute.
I mean, they had to, yeah, I guess. Here comes Christopher Daniels, one half of the NWA Tag Team Champions.
I know I have indie notes for these guys. This is a match I want to enjoy. So on August 4th, Christopher Daniels teamed up with Matt Sydal to defeat Irish Airborne, which is Dave and Jake Chris, at Ring of Honor's Time to Man Up. And then he was in that previously mentioned 4-corner match that he lost that Nigel McGuinness won. Homicide teamed up with Ricky Reyes in a losing effort in a Ring of Honor World Tag Team title Ultimate Endurance match, which saw Austin Aries and Roderick Strong defeat Adam Pearce and BJ Whitmer in the Embassy in the Ultimate Endurance, which was 34 minutes and 47 seconds long. And then on August 5th, Homicide teamed up with BJ Whitmore, wrestling Adam Pearce and Steve Corino to a no contest at Ring of Honor's Fight of the Century.
Fast-paced start to this match between Homicide and Daniels. Oh, freaking curb stomping Homicide. Homicide grabbing a chair, throws it into the ring. Daniels caught it, wants to use it. Andrew Thomas says, "No way, buddy."
What a heel.
What a bad guy.
Cheap shot.
They're dirty. They're thugs. They're a gang. Homicide tossing Daniels to the floor.
Wait,
Right
5150 is the police code. I thought 187 was. Is 187 the area code that you were saying?
Wait, is that what TNA just said?
Yeah, 5150. I knew one of them was. 5150 is the police code for a homicide.
Oh.
187 must be the area code for like Brooklyn or something.
No, you were right.
So it was right.
You were right.
He just said
TNA just said it.
He just said 5150 was.
No, I think 5150 is something else.
That's what I thought. So I was. This is bullshit. I was right. I should never doubt myself. Demon all the hell. Bullshit. This is bullshit.
I'm trying to look it up. Brother Runt in the crowd. Hard justice tonight still.
STO. 1, 2. No. Homicide didn't even really seem to kick out on that, but they still gave him just a 2 count. The cutter. 1, 2. No.
Well, at least when you just Google like what it is. In California, a person can be placed in an involuntary psychiatric hold or a 5150 if due to a mental illness, if they are determined to pose a danger to themselves or others.
Yes. Okay. So that's why I didn't think that it was a homicide. I had known that. Not because I've been under one, but because I've heard that before.
Because I've been under. Koji Clutch by Daniels.
He ain't gonna tap. He's
Conan trying to get in.
But Conan's there, so there's referee don't see it.
That's awesome.
Hernandez.
There's Homicide. Hernandez.
The referee still doesn't know. The
Cracker Jack. He just fucking took him by the neck and tossed him over his head. And Homicide gets the win. Okay.
Interesting.
We're following along. We're at 22 minutes into the show.
I must say, I really like Hernandez. So,
Homicide and Hernandez are such a good, what a good pairing.
It's so good.
And with Conan is their man, dude. It's such a good group.
Yeah. Is Daniels taking this? He's not taking this.
He's trying not to. Here comes Styles in the neck brace.
The chair.
That's awesome, dude.
Is he really gonna fight these guys off? No way. Wow. Oh!
Oh!
Just
Right
smashed
over the
Hernandez with a chair shot over the head. There you go.
Oh, he took the neck brace
He's
off.
fine. He took the neck brace off. He's fine.
This
I am
tag
looking
match,
forward.
I'm hyped for that tag match,
I'm
dude.
looking forward to that.
Okay, part 3 of this history, so that means more notes for you.
Mind you, they have a 3-part history between these guys, and it's really only been 7 months that they're highlighting.
Well, right. Lethal Lockdown. Instead of taping every other week, as they have been doing, the next couple of weeks, Bob, on August 14th and September 4th, they're doing 3 weeks at a time. And that is, of course, as we know, is because there's 6 impacts between Hard Justice and No Surrender. Another interesting note revolves around where TV is going to be taped on October 23rd, which is the day after Bound for Glory, which will come down to, will they try to tape near Detroit, or are they going to fly everyone back to Orlando to tape? It's a really interesting point.
So they could potentially have Impact on the road, is what we're saying.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited to see. Oh, I have a LAX now. I totally missed. Oh, never mind. It's not really a note. He just kind of talks about how LAX has really turned around the standing of all 3 members of the group in the past few weeks. Early angles and feuds with the uniqueness of the ring entrance, they're now looked upon as a main event level act. So they have a lot of good backing behind them. Now we're getting a movie trailer, Pulse. Oh, they're incorporating it into the match that we just saw. Okay, cool.
So it's sponsored the replay of the Cracker Jack.
This looks like shit. Abyss is coming out. He's in action next. And related to that, Scott D'Amore is going to be off television for a few months. That's not related to Abyss at all. I was going to say it next, and Abyss coming out. So we kind of do that.
I do have one indie note here for Abyss. On August 5th at IWC's No Excuse 2, Abyss was involved in a War Games match. He was part of the team of the Unholy Alliance, which was Abyss, Dean Radford, Hentai, Sebastian Dark, and Shirley Doe. And they lost to Team IWC, which was Chris Hamrick, Dennis Gregory, Sterling James Keenan, and Troy Lords.
Nice. Oh, his opponent, Shark Boy.
Oh, boy. Well, this should be self-explanatory.
Bob, I think my final note, besides that random Scott D'Amore one, is that Tracy Brooks is going to be heading to Iraq to greet the troops.
What? Just Tracy? Oh, there's Brother Run again, now with a ladder. Why wait until Sunday? And that distracted Abyss, allowing Shark Boy to jump on his back and choke him for a minute.
Yeah, that's all my notes for the show. Yeah, they sent Tracy alone to Iraq.
That's pretty random. For just Tracy.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that's about.
Oh,
Black Hole Slam.
And that's it. Okay, so now is Brother Runt gonna prove that he's a lunatic and attack Abyss, or what? Hey, there's a towel guy.
Oh, we haven't talked about him in a while.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
Whoa, Runt is up near the logo on the stage.
Get down. But get down safely. I would be shitting my pants.
Bob, I would be shit. Let me tell you something. Holy shit, he just jumped on Abyss and they rolled down the stage. That was wild.
That was crazy.
So, yesterday, I was trying to paint my house, and I probably got... How high do I think I got up? maybe 10, 12 feet. And I couldn't get up higher than that. I said, we're going to have to get someone else to do this. I can't do it.
So you were just on a ladder on like the side of your house?
Yeah, leaned up against the house trying to paint, and I could only get so high because I'm not Brother Run.
Right. So it's leaning against your house.
And the ground underneath is slightly a slope. I was sketched, dude. Ladders jiggling.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. Hey, there's Raven.
I've been wondering this whole time, and I found him. That's a drop. Nice. Raven has to appreciate the diabolicalness, is what they're saying in commentary. What is this song? Is that a Brother Run song?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And that's
wow. Well, we're back to the Sting crap. I need to perform surgery and remove the cancer.
I mean, he's talking about the same cancer for years. How did my headphones get stuck in my fucking seat?
Oh, what a mess.
The screw job at Slammiversary, great.
Sting's Michonne. Up next, Cage versus Steiner. Oh my god, another Hard Justice promo, dude. Oh, that's a cool match graphic. Rhino, Joe, and Alpha Male Monty Brown. AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. Oh, that's a cool one, too. I like the match graphics. I like these match graphics a lot.
Oh, they're good. Wait.
Told you. Oh my god, an X Division #1 contenders match. It's Saban versus Kevin Nash. That's awesome.
Nash better win it.
No.
That's funny.
Dude, we're back again, and there's another Sting and Jarrett video.
This is ridiculous.
This is overkill on this show, dude. Come on.
Yeah. They should have spaced this out over the 4 weeks in which that we were building up to the show.
Yeah.
Something.
Why does he call Scott Steiner Scotty Steiner?
Because it's Rick and Scotty Steiner.
Sting is going to fulfill his destiny of being the heavyweight champion. Oh, we're having the meeting outside of Jim Cornette's office. Okay. Oh, he got him a gift. Wendy's.
Huh.
That's pretty funny. Some sipping whiskey. This is from Tennessee. I'm from Kentucky. Bullet bourbon. Oh, handcrafted. He made him a special tamarack. Oh, it's real diamonds. He's on a diet. He loves Wendy's, best hamburgers in the world, but he's on a diet, and he does his blood pressure.
Wendy's is pretty good.
Whoa. Looks like a toilet seat cover off a New Orleans cat house. He called it a tennis racket. Here's your future. I'm all about opportunity. The paparazzi guy is starting to tick me off. He's going to add a match. Eric Young against Johnny Devine. All you got to do is win. You better not lose. That sounds like it's going to be a real hot match, Bob.
Yeah. Real hot. Smoking.
Smoking hot. Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner coming out next. We are at 32 minutes, 21 seconds. Our main event is about to get started. Big Bad Booty Daddy, one of the best nicknames in wrestling I've ever heard. I love it.
And he's looking absolutely shredded.
He never has failed a drug test. I heard recently. I
Never.
sent that to you. He said, "Take that for what you will," but he's never failed one.
I told him if I gotta take one, Triple H gotta take one, and then they never asked me again. So that to me tells me I'm clean. Or Scott, it is you acknowledging that you are definitely roided up, but you know Triple H is as well, and if you're going down, he's going down with you.
I mean, that's a smart play. You got to admit.
Sure.
Yeah, he's got to take it too. Oh.
I mean, because like Triple H obviously fucking was gassed to the gills.
I like when he got off the gas and he got real thick.
Oh my god, dude! When he got
that was weird.
He's trying to have kid. They were trying to have kid. Him and Stephanie. So he had to get off the juice. And
is that why he did?
Yeah. Because as soon as she got pregnant, guess who went right back on the gas? Triple H.
Well, he has multiple kids, doesn't he? So he's been off more than once.
Oh yeah, and you can tell.
You have to be off of it.
I think it
lowers your testosterone, right? So I mean.
Yeah, so it's a lot better, a lot easier for you if you're not choosing it. I feel like we've looked this up before, but I want to say 2004, 2003, 2004. He's off of it.
He was still looking good then, though, wasn't he?
2003 Triple H, like towards the second half of 2003, he's not as in shape. I'm gonna look up the dates of their children.
2003.
When she gave birth. Stephanie. Man. Not that one. God damn it. Stephanie.
I don't know, dude. He's still looking. I mean, he's not as shredded by SummerSlam. He does not look bad.
Okay. Hang on a minute. We're gonna figure this out. Okay. So maybe he just got chunkier for no reason because 2005 has to be because their first daughter was born in 2006, then 2008, and then 2010.
Jim Cornette's at the announce table, by the way, and I've noticed something. That red phone looked like it was plugged in. I don't know if they're finally going to use it or what, but
have they acknowledged why it's there yet? Or?
No. He looks fine in 2005 too.
So then when does he go chunky?
Isn't it like 20 or not 20? 2007?
I don't know.
Maybe 2008. Wait.
There's definitely 2000. I could have sworn 2003 Triple H. He just looks fat. Same thing with 2004. I thought at some point.
All right, Triple H chunky. Holy okay. Oh, this is okay. This is what I'm thinking about. When is this is 2004. No, this is it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of too. But there's even a worse one.
This one?
Yep.
But that one I don't see a date on it.
If I had to guess for that one, it'd probably be 2009. Just from the.
See, that's what I was thinking too. Commercial break as we're brawling around the outside. Steiner throws Christian into the guardrail. Uh-oh, belly-to-belly suplex by Steiner.
1, 2. Pick out. I do have any notes for these guys, so let's not forget. August 5th,
okay.
Christian Cage defeated AJ Styles at IWC's No Excuse 2. That match went 13 minutes and 18 seconds. And then Scott Steiner has a rare indie at this point. And this might be a gem of a match. Actually, I lied. I can't say it because it is not around this time. It is in a few weeks, so never mind.
Oh, okay. So coming soon.
Coming soon to a listening device to you. Clothesline by Christian. 1, 2, kick out. First DDT. Got it. 1, 2. Steiner, kick it out and get it, too. Oh. Chop, chop, chop. And, Christian saying, fuck you. And he dropped hold Steiner over the middle rope. And now he's going to do the choke. Yeah. Has that top rope ever just snapped when he's done that? And he's fallen backwards?
That would be insane.
Crazy. Oh, another belly-to-belly suplex. What is this? Royal Rumble 2003? Jesus.
With the gigantic Hard Justice thing on the screen. You know what I keep thinking about, Bob? Is imagine you got your little TV in your room. Or your wherever it is. Because the square ones, generally they weren't very large.
No,
and
I mean,
that graphic...
the box TV.
Yeah. That graphic takes up so much of your little screen that would annoy the shit out of me.
Yeah, I guess
the little Hard Justice thing, it took up like half the screen.
It's true.
They make it enormous.
Well, they want you to buy the show.
Yeah, I know. Someone drop off the top? Or middle rope by Scott Steiner. Look out below! Uh-oh, Steiner recliner.
Oh, no.
Tap! Tap, you
Don't
fat ass!
Good.
Mexico North! Okay, Christian got to the rope. Look at this. Oh, he pulled him out. Okay, he moved way too easily, though, in general there, I feel like.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, when you hook your arms around Steiner's knees, he basically has to do that himself because Steiner's not doing it. Damn prettier? No, oh, great. Here's Jeff Jarrett. Oh, he
hit Steiner. They're throwing the match out.
What is this, Nitro?
Oh, they said obvious disqualification, but I think it's going to be a no contest. Oh, low blow.
Well, I mean, I guess you could say no contest because Jarrett technically hit Steiner and then he hit Cage, so he went for both.
Okay, well, according to Cage Match, it is a DQ. Lights out.
Jarrett
Christian defeated Steiner by DQ, I guess.
Christian, but now the lights go out, and that only means one thing. Sting has got the... How did he get the deathlock on Jarrett in the dark? What the hell?
That was some tricky camera work right there.
Yeah, what in the world?
Sting threw in his AEW attire here.
Yeah.
T-shirt Sting.
He didn't want to do anything hokey, so he just put somebody in the deathlock in the dark.
That's awesome. Christian has the title. He's about to hand it to Sting.
No, don't.
It's going to be pretty interesting and Hard Justice, Bob. Look at this.
Give him a side hug.
The one-handed friend hug.
Yep.
There we go. We go to our video package to end the show. Okay, Bob. What'd you think of that episode?
That was good. That was a solid one.
Yeah, I think so too. We're hyping up Hard Justice. Just a couple days away, guys. We're covering that show. I'm pretty excited about Hard Justice. I think more than I was expecting to be.
Yeah. I don't think I was expecting it to be nearly as
nope.
interesting as it is.
Yeah, I didn't expect that at all.
I want to say we know every single match on the show.
Do we really?
We do. Now, one of the matches that we know about, they have really glossed over in the sense of it's not been promoted on television, but they did mention it.
Which one is that?
As my alarm is going off. I'll just do a quick rundown for what we are scheduled to see. As announced on this show, Eric Young will be taking on Johnny Devine. Scheduled, at least. TNA X Division title #1 contendership, Kevin Nash to take on Chris Sabin. And what I would assume to be a hardcore match, but I don't know if it's been advertised as such, but I would assume it will be. Abyss will be taking on Brother Runt.
Yeah.
Falls Count Anywhere 3-way dance between Monty Brown, Rhino, and Samoa Joe. The match that I'm referencing about being glossed over is Gail Kim versus Sorelda.
Yeah, they only mentioned that one time.
They've mentioned it one time. We have not seen Sorelda on television since like Victory Road, I'm pretty sure. So
that's like really weird to me.
It's very weird that they would even still have the match. You could easily just not even bother with it.
Yeah, we don't have to do that.
Of all the dropped angles that we've seen in wrestling, how are we not just dropping that one? But whatever. In a newly adjusted match that was also announced on the show, just completely randomly thrown in, TNA X Division Championship match is now a 3-way, which is Senshi defending against Petey Williams and Jay Lethal, despite the fact that Jay Lethal, I believe, was the guy that got pinned by Petey in the match.
It's just weird, dude. It's just
now
weird.
He's in the match. So that's just weird. The NWA World Tag Team Champions, AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels, defending against the Latin American Exchange, Hernandez and Homicide. And then, of course, our main event, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Jeff Jarrett, with Scott Steiner in his corner, will defend against Sting with Christian Cage in his corner. Now, for the most part, from top to bottom, these matches all have reasons behind them.
Yeah, that's kind of almost a first, really.
Yeah, because there's been several times where it's like, oh, hey, this is not even advertised and it's on the show, and there's really no reason for them to be fighting. Mm-hmm. Everything here is serving a purpose. So I'm looking forward to Hard Justice. I think that we could be in for a surprise level of a good show here.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think it's gonna be good.
I do as well. I do not trust Christian Cage at all.
No, that dude is up to no good, and we're gonna find out very soon.
He is. Yeah, he is manipulating Jim Cornette or something, and you can just tell.
Yeah, something's really fishy, but I guess time will tell, and by time, it's literally in just a couple days.
Yeah, literally. So. You got anything else, Dallas? Or are we all set?
I think that covers that for us, Bob. If you guys are enjoying what we're doing, be sure to follow us on all of our social media pages. You can find us on Twitter at Cross the Line TNA, on Facebook TNA Cross the Line Pod, on Instagram also Cross the Line TNA, and so much more. Check out our Pro Wrestling Tee store. We have cool shirts, all sorts of fun stuff.
That's right. All right, we'll see you guys in just 3 days for when we are back for some Hard Justice. Until then, for Dallas Gridley, I am Bob Colling Jr., and this has been the TNA Cross the Line podcast.